To be honest with you, Jimmy, I don't think it's any of your business. Hello and welcome to the fourth podcast in the Hadcast series, which is going to go on forever. This is the second time that we've recorded this one because we recorded it last night when we'd had an absolute pig of a day, and Jade and I were looking at each other and talking like we were morons. Well, more moronic than we usually are, isn't that right?
It was the dullest thing you've ever heard, and when we listened back to it, I was like, oh my God, that
Bored.
was boring.
Bored.
Scrap it.
We were both absolutely shit bored. So we listened to about 10 seconds back and went, blow this, we're going to bed. And we thought we'd re-record tonight. But we have an extra guest here tonight, don't we?
She's sat around the corner with her iPad and her headphones on under strict instruction to stay quiet.
And those strict instructions include drugs. So what we've done, we've asked people to send in their questions. We've got a whole host of them. Thank you for doing that. We really appreciate it. Some are absolutely terrible. Some are really good. Nevertheless, we're going to go through them all. Jade, kick us off.
Okay, so the first one's from Carrie.
Carrie.
Yes, and we love a good couples topic.
Oh, don't we just?
Yes. If you were to ask one another and answer honestly, what is it about the other person that makes you feel safe or grateful for them that nobody else has made you feel?
I like that. You go for it. If you can think of an answer.
I can, yeah.
Okay, go for it.
I love the way from day one you've always been a big advocate for me. So just little examples, I was a bit of a wet lettuce when we first got together, and even going to the dentist, things like that, I'd be like, oh my God, worried to death about it. And in our very, very early days, I don't think we was even properly together, Dan was due to go up to Scotland to do a show. Obviously, that's a mammoth drive from here. And bless him, he came to the dentist with me. I was having a root canal, I think, which I was petrified of. I'd not had anything like that done before. And he came with me, sat with me, and obviously delayed going up to Scotland because of it. And there's always been little things like that. He's always been there, always fighting my corner through anything medical, non-medical stuff. And you always make me feel like you've got my back. And I like that.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. And equally so, and it sounds a bit sickly, but I know you've got my back. And the reason I know you've got my back is because I can do what I think is my best work, and you can turn around to me and say, Dan, that's shit. And I know that because you want the best for me, that you're speaking from the heart, and you're speaking without any kind of sense of one-upmanship or anything. You only want me to put my best foot forward ever. So when you pass an opinion on something, even if it stings me, I know that it's coming from the right place. And I've also noticed over the years that you no longer allow me to be walked over by people, and you've turned around many times over the 8 years we've been together and said, no, you shouldn't put up with that. You cannot let this person do this to you. Where previously I'd have gone, oh, do you know what, it's okay, it's just one of those things, blah blah blah. And I'm not saying that doesn't have its merits, but you make me not be a mug. And I think when you came into my life and introduced the element to me, I think it made people go, he's changed. Actually, I needed to. And you advocate for me in the same way. And I think, advocacy for one another doesn't just go to the small things. It goes to the huge things, even if it's, in the doctor's surgery, when we're having a baby, and the other person is vulnerable. Nobody is a greater spokesperson for me than you, and vice versa. And that's how it should be in a relationship.
I think we always step up when the other one needs it.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a story which we'll tell in Molly's birth story, where you really, stepped in there and took charge of a situation. Yeah. And it's times like that I'm so grateful, because not everybody's like that, know, and you've made me as well. And I mentioned this on last night's podcast that got scrapped. We mentioned a bit of criticism, and when it's constructive, when it's not, and I've not been able to take criticism over my life very well. You have made me take criticism because I know that it's coming from a good place, the same way I give it to you. And it is, when it's just genuinely, you are looking out for the other person and there's no meanness attached to it. You're not saying it because you're trying to be rotten. It's actually quite helpful. You've totally got the other person's best interest at heart.
Yeah, that's right.
I never ever want you to put anything out there, whether it's a design you've done, something you're singing, anything, even something you're wearing, and you look silly or it doesn't look good. I want to be like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised at how many times Jade's actually pointed something out, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay, let's move on to the next question. I've got this from this. So this is anonymous. No, I'll come back to that one, actually. I'm going to come back to that one. Oh, God, let me have a look. This is from Jo. Okay, she said, this is the year that I turn 50. And when I turned 40, it was during the crazy year of the men and the ladies who were in the DH Red Room group following me around the country, wherever I perform. Now, as I'm about to turn 50, does it feel like 10 years ago? And what plans do I have to celebrate my milestone birthday? It feels longer than 10 years ago. If I'm honest, it feels like a lifetime ago. And so much has changed since then. I was in the headlights, I think, of people right then. I couldn't believe how many people wanted to kind of come and see me. I remember doing a show where people literally queued round the room to have a photograph with me. That's ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous. And flattered though I was, it really made me feel quite weird because I can't escape the fact that I'm a tribute act. And I just don't know why anybody would want to do it. I don't know why anybody would want to do it for Gary, and yet alone for a tribute act. I've just no idea. But that same show, I remember singing and looking out to the audience who were really close by. Everyone's cameras in the air, and I thought, what the hell? I didn't expect this in my life ever. It was weird. It was like being a mini pop star. And I just thought, oh my God, this is incredible. But I also felt a real sense temporariness to it. I really did. So it's, I can't believe that's 10 years. As for my birthday, well, I'm obviously having a bit of a party at the end of November. Looking forward to seeing the people that are coming up there. But really, do you know what? I can't believe I'm about to turn 50. I really, really can't believe it. Oh God!
It does feel like these last 10 years have flown.
It does, yeah. It really, really does. And it's a really difficult one to do. But I am going to enjoy turning 50 and seeing what happens. So thank you for that question, Jo. I really appreciate it.
I don't even have to think about things that you do, but they're all really petty, silly things.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, go on then.
Oh, where do I start? Right. Dan leaves the lids off everything.
Do I?
Toothpaste being one of them, which I find absolutely minging.
You did that this morning. You literally did that this morning.
No, I don't do that.
You did. You did. It was on the side. I put everything away this morning. I came back in later. The Sensodyne lid was on the left-hand side.
You do know that Sensodyne is Mum's toothpaste. What have you opened that for?
I took it away with me this week and you left the lid off. Carry on.
My mum bought that and she left it here.
No, I bought a tube before your mum bought it. That's ours. Your mum's got the unopened one on the stairs.
We like to share toothpaste in the family.
I used your toothbrush the other day. You up my arse. Right, carry on.
Yeah, lids. Oh my God, terrible. It's not just the toothpaste, it's anything. Like, he could make himself a crumpet, which he eats 400,000 crumpets per week.
I love crumpets.
He's keeping Warburtons going.
I am.
But he will leave the lid off the butter, he will leave the lid off the marmalade, you name it. And I just can't understand why. In fact, Dan can go in the kitchen and utterly destroy the place.
I can.
He goes in there and it can be immaculate. He's gone in there to simply make a crumpet. You should see the state of the place.
Do you want to have a quick look in the kitchen now and see how I've left it?
And but this is what you do. You destroy and then mend it. destroy.
No, I don't.
Whereas if I'm here on my own at weekends when he's away, I tidy as I'm going
Oh my
all
God.
the time.
Listeners, when I come back after I've been away at the weekend, and I can print these fucking text messages to say, please forgive the state of the house. I've been up to my ears in it with the kids. And I go, don't worry, darling. I understand. I walk in, and I'm not joking you, it's like Beirut in there.
Of course it is.
If you went into that kitchen now, there's butter and marmalade on the side, and the lids are on both, and it's immaculate.
You're a scruff.
Just because I used to be like that, she holds on to these things. What else then?
So if he makes you a cup of tea or coffee, the spoon will just go down on the side.
That's correct. And do you know why Jade doesn't leave the spoon on the side? Because she never fucking makes me one.
Do you know why I don't make one?
Why?
Because Dan doesn't even let the kettle get cold. It is on boil 24/7. Do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a coffee? Do you want a coffee? Do you want a coffee? So why? Why would I make one in between? Because you keep them coming at 100 mile an hour.
And isn't that so lovely that you've got a husband that always, hey, do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a cup of coffee? I'll look at it. Cup of coffee. Do you want a crumpet? Oh, yeah, I've left the butter and marmalade out.
Enough of that. I'm itching to get on. I've got a whole list.
Carry on.
Right, something that pushed him up. But Dan did something today which I didn't lose my mind about, and I bet you he thinks that
The bumper.
I bet you were expecting me to lose my head about that, and I didn't.
I was so mad with myself, but I didn't see it.
So, Dan...
Did you see it?
I'm not driving. You're driving.
Did you
and
see
we've
it?
got reversing cameras, and he still didn't see it.
Reversing camera didn't come on until it hit it.
So, when we left Wisby today, he reversed into a wooden plant
That was
pot.
really low on the floor and out of sight.
And you should see our alloys that Dan has absolutely destroyed.
I give
and
you
we've
that.
got to get rid of this car,
I
right,
give
from
you
the
that.
end of the year, because we've had it 4 years. I've got to hand it back. And I'm actually thinking we need to get those alloys fixed because the car will lose some of its value. So that really pushes my buttons, how you wreck alloys.
Totally give you that.
Reverse into a plant pot.
I give you that. I'm not a bad driver. It's just I'm drawn to damage. I'm drawn to damaging alloys. I don't know why. I hate alloys. It's like I've never had.
You've got no spatial awareness, and I'm wondering if that's a man thing.
Oh, do you know what?
Carrie, look what you've started.
I've got no spatial awareness.
You've got none.
Right.
This
anything
is the
else?
bloke.
Anything
right?
else?
Yeah, be quiet. I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is the bloke. Talk about spatial awareness. He does not look down ever at his feet.
I've got
so
clumsy.
he will walk through the house and stand on anything because he doesn't look down. So he will full on fall over because he just it doesn't engage his brain with his feet.
Do you know why I stand on things in our house? Because other people have left things on the floor. I haven't.
Do you not think it's not normal to not look while you're walking?
Okay, I'm actually going to reverse a little bit here.
Okay.
I am a bit clumsy.
You are?
And I've got clumsier as I've got older.
Dithery.
I am a bit dithery. So what pushes my...
I'll tell you something else that... Here we go. Honestly, you set me off. This whole podcast can be about this. You don't do this anymore. Dan used to use spray-on deodorants. I have never in my life heard anybody hold the sprayer down for as long as him.
God, I smell good.
He would be buying a can of deodorant every other day because he held
That's
the
just
button
not
down
true.
for
That's just
so
not
long.
true.
Who needs that much deodorant on? What's wrong with you?
Sweaty
he
man.
would spray that much of it. I'm not joking. I'd be like gasping in
It's
the
like
other
stars
room.
in their eyes coming out of the bathroom.
Awful.
Yeah.
I'd be coughing and spluttering, and he didn't care. He did not care.
I know.
He'd watch me dying in the
You're
background
right.
because he smelled good.
You are actually right. I did overuse it, and I've recently switched to like roll-on, which have given me weird lumps under my arms.
I don't care if your armpits fall off. That I don't
actually
have to have that in
slightly
my
itchy.
throat anymore.
They're itchy now.
Good.
I'm actually itching. So what's the question? What pushes my buttons about you?
Yeah. Nothing.
No, dear. I think what really annoys me is you not taking your medication when you should. That really pushes my buttons because she takes.
It's the patch, and I've not put another one on.
So she's got a few different bits of medication. She takes medication for her anger issues, okay, and then she doesn't take the medication for her anger issues, and then after a while she really gets angry, and then I go, and I have to be really careful. I go, have you taken your?
That's Karen in the corner.
Yeah, it's, have you taken your medication? No. Why do you always think it's? Why do you always think it's that? Why? I'm not angry about that. And I'm like, no, but if you've taken your medication, you wouldn't be angry. Oh God, it's always about the medication. It's always angry about the medication. And then she takes the medication. Fine, absolutely fine. And then, because Jade's got restless leg syndrome, which is a great podcast.
Yeah, because you know, people think when you say that it's just a bit of a twitch. It's not.
We'll come to that, because you're restless leg, and I swear to God, if we meet people and they say, "Oh yeah, I've got restless legs too," I want to say, "Fuck off, you haven't," and you're gonna have to prove it with video footage to be able to match Jade's restless legs, because it is not funny.
I wear a 24-hour patch on my arm, and it's predominantly for Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And this is how bad it is. So when people say to me they've got restless leg, I'm like, have you?
Yeah. And do you know?
Mine is. I'm actually at the maximum dose that's been legalised for people with restless leg syndrome.
Yeah.
So if it does get any worse, I don't actually know where I'm going to
So
go.
the patch reduces the symptoms and really helps. And one of my bugbears is she forgets to put it on. Well done, you. So not only does she not take her anger medication, but then she doesn't put the patch on in time, knowing full well that timing is crucial. And if she puts it on late, everybody's going to have a shit night.
I haven't actually replaced it yet.
No.
And it's 10, so I'm probably going to have a
because
terrible
she's
night.
useless at taking medication.
I don't know what it is. I can look at the medication cupboard and walk away from it. And someone explained that to me. I don't know whether I've got something up with me, but it's like it's a huge task to swallow a tablet or stick that patch, and I can't be bothered. And I think, and yet I will suffer like hell other than just put it on. And I know that's not normal.
Do you know what? Also, it doesn't push my buttons, but I'm sure that other women do this. But when you get undressed and you take your jeans off, you pull your jeans and your pants off all together, and your jeans are inside out with your pants still stuck in the leg holes, and then you just leave them on the floor. So there's a combination of several things there. So I go into the bathroom or at the side of a bed, jeans off, pants off. That's it.
At the side of the bed?
Often. Because who makes the bed in the morning and clears up?
Why would I take my pants off at the side of the bed?
You tell me. I don't know who's been in.
I don't take my pants off at the side of the bed. I don't sleep in no pants. I think you're exaggerating.
Other thing, you want to check both of our pillows, okay? My pillow is a bit sweaty. Her pillow looks like she's wiped her arse on it because she's not taken the makeup off. Okay, and so all the foundation is all over the pillow, and then she'll go, "Oh God, this bed's a right mess. This bed needs a wash." Yes, it does, because it's got half your fucking face on it. That's why.
You know why that is? Because I'm too tired.
It's always coming back to the tiredness. All my clothes are all conjoined
together because I have to go in the bathroom at 100 mile an hour to get a shower, so everything comes off in one go: pants, bra, top, socks, the works in one big pile.
I'll be honest with you. I actually completely get that.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not a push button. I look at it and I actually go, "Oh God, I know you don't actually want to live like that." No. And because before we had kids, you'd have a makeup routine where you take it off at night, and often you'd fold your pants. She wouldn't. She'd have to burn them. No, but you take your medication off. You take your face off at night, and you know. But nowadays, there's just no time, is there?
No time for nothing. No. That's why everything's in a heap, or I've got a skiddy brown pillowcase.
What else pushes my buttons about you? Oh. Nothing. Actually, nothing. Honestly, nothing really pushes my buttons about you. And I think this is one of the things I love about Jade. She doesn't disgust me in any way, shape or form.
No icks.
No icks. I've got no icks about you. You give me no icks, because I think icks are really dangerous. You know, I've been out.
They grow.
I've been out with different women, and one woman has had a blooming bad set of calves. I know, not a couple of cows kicking about. I mean, like calf, shape of a calf. That's given me the ick. Another one walked with the feet sticking out at 10 to 2. That was worry, a bit of an odd thing. Another one had a rough back.
Rough back?
Rough back. Yeah, rough back. Really,
oh my God.
A really unusually rough back. I don't even know where to go with that one.
No, I don't.
A rough back.
I actually don't even know what
Let
to say
that
to
sink in.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it surprised me.
How do you have a rough
I don't know. But also, how do you exfoliate it if it's just you? I mean, I suppose you could use a loofah or whatever, but nobody had obviously ever told her that she had a rough back.
Did you?
No.
Oh.
I should have said, listen, love, it's over. Okay, you've got a rough back.
She might have had some big aches about you.
She might have done, but, we'll never know. She's dead.
Oh, my God.
Right, I think that's it. Next,
she's not.
No, she's not. Do you want to ask the next question, and I'll ask the next one after that?
Yeah,
Go
so Roy Hadfield.
Hey, my cousin. Hi, Roy.
Yes, he has asked, what is Jade's favourite or most effective coping strategy?
It's a really good question.
So if it's me personally, and I think I've mentioned this before, I tell myself I don't have to do anything. So if I'm faced with, going to an appointment that I'm worried about, or I don't know, say, I don't know, but faced with something that I don't want to do.
It's an obligation.
Yeah. I tell myself, I'll go, I'll turn up. At any point, I can walk out.
Yeah.
I would have myself walking down to theatre ready for surgery.
Yeah.
And the only way I'd get through it is until they've knocked me out, I'm walking out of here.
That's right.
Nobody's keeping me here.
You keep a get out.
Yeah. Because I just tell myself I'm not a prisoner ever. And so no matter what I have to do, I can walk away.
So what about the pregnancy? When you're pregnant and you've got to go through having a baby, how does that work? How does that work in your
Because I think when you are in that much pain, that's not even on your mind. That pain gets you through anything. You're a superwoman. And I think a pregnancy grinds you down to a nub. And in them last few weeks, you'd have someone take that baby out with a rusty spoon.
Yeah.
Like there's no, you don't feel like you've got any fear of going into hospital. When I was pregnant with Mabel, I was having counselling for something else, but I remember speaking to him saying, oh God, I'm so worried about going into hospital, this, that and the other. But I was saying that from a completely normal perspective. I was in no pain. Nothing was ahead of me.
Yeah.
But when it came to it,
get it done.
You've stepped on a conveyor belt when you step into that hospital, and that's it. You're just on it, and
I don't
that's
think
the end of it.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything comparable off the top of my head that a man can say about that, because when a woman is pregnant, there's something has got to happen to change that circumstance, whether it can, it goes well or it goes badly. Something has got to change.
And I guess in your mind as well, you're always thinking this it's got to come out.
And
one way or another.
That blew my mind. I mean, we'll talk about that in the next fertility podcast we do, but that blew, when you were big with Mabel, and you were pretty big with Mabel, I remember looking at you thinking, oh my God, how is that gonna come out? And blow me.
I think there's something nice though about a first pregnancy, because actually having no knowledge and going into something completely blind, it gets you through it, because actually you don't know what stage you're at, you don't know what's happening. I think when you go back and have a second or third, you're so genned up on it, you kind of, where you're at, what should be happening, what's not happening.
Not
having any experience, I think, can get you through it as well.
That's true. So
sometimes
almost ignorance is
knowledge
bliss.
is too much.
Yeah, I get it. It's can I be really coarse here? But I mean it in a serious way. How on earth do women's fannies open up that much?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
I don't. I mean, looking at them on a normal everyday basis, as some men do, as you do. It's like neat and tidy and all that, and all of a sudden it turns into like a gaping maw, a cave. And I just think, oh my God, my daughter's head's coming out of that. And I can't believe it. And no wonder a woman would then look at herself afterwards in a different light physically.
Isn't it amazing though how it all just pings back?
I can't believe it. Like, doing.
I mean, if I was to go and look at my bits now, I'd think, how on earth would a baby get out of there?
I know.
And yet it does.
It does.
It's we actually filmed Molly coming out because I really
I'll post
wanted.
it later.
Oh, that'll make them all sick. And
it was lovely. It was beautiful.
I wanted to watch it, and I have watched it so many times.
Yeah.
And actually, there's not one bit of it that weirds me out.
No,
and
no.
it just looks so normal and natural, and it's lovely.
I didn't think it was possible, but I deepened how much I loved you at each birth, because I saw, especially with Mabel, I think the first, because I couldn't believe what you'd done for us, when you gave birth to our child. And from a man's perspective, if a man can't look at the woman that's done that for them, then I don't know what that man must be thinking, because what a woman goes through to give life. And I know that sounds really trite, but that's what it is. You are God.
Oh yes.
But you are, because if you're religious, and we're not, but you take, what does God as the manifestation of God is that she is, they are life givers. Well, you are. That's what you've done.
I do find it fascinating that we grow human life and birth them, and
it's incredible.
I think women are pretty amazing.
Amazing, yeah. Good questions. Is it my turn to ask? Do you want me to?
To summarise that, Roy,
Sorry.
I tell myself that I can walk away from anything, and that is how I get through most things. Yeah.
Can I add to that? By the way, I have a coping mechanism as well, and
did he ask you?
No, he didn't. Was it just for you?
Yes, he said, "What is Jade's?"
Oh, forget it then. I'm not.
Go on.
No.
Have your moment.
Don't forget it. It's my cousin. He'll forgive me.
No, what is your coping mechanism?
Well, a lot of people ask me if I ever get nervous before I go on stage, and I always say I'm not, until recently, when I've started to say, yes, I do actually. And they go, oh, right. And I say how many shows I've done, which now is sort of 1,500 shows. I've lost count, really. And my coping mechanism is to get on stage as soon as humanly possible, because that minute before I go on stage, I want to die. I want to run a mile and get out. I want to disappear. And I had a recurring dream when I was younger about going on stage and not knowing my lines. And it always comes back to haunt me when I'm about to go on stage. And the only way I cope is by actually getting out in front of people and taking control of the situation, because I don't like not being in control. And I think that's why when I'm in a crowd of people, I like to be the one who is talking and pulling people together and trying to get people to talk, because whilst I naturally want to sit back and not speak, I hate connections not being made, and I want to, as a fixer, to try and fix it all. And so my coping mechanism is almost to throw myself into it. I think it must be a control issue. That's it, Roy. Thanks for asking. Hope you and Barbara are okay. See you in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got one here from Darren. How's the menopause affecting you, Dan?
He's taking.
Are you having a midlife crisis? Are you losing your hair? Are you losing your libido? Are you craving attention? How's it feel getting close to half a century? Are any of those things happening to you?
Is there another bit of that question?
Yeah, me. How do you cope with Dan's ego?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Have I got an ego?
No, I don't think so. No, not at all.
Would that surprise people?
Possibly.
I think so.
No, I don't think you've got an ego at all.
No, I don't think I have, which is ridiculous, really, because everybody's got an ego. But you'd think in what I did for a living, I would have an ego. But I actually fight. to hide an ego.
I think you're quite balanced, actually, because I don't think you're somebody who constantly puts yourself down, which can be quite draining. Constantly looking for reassurance. You don't do that, and equally, you're not arrogant. I think you've got it quite right. I don't think you're losing your hair, but it's gone grey.
I'm definitely not. I'm
got a good
definitely
head of
going
hair.
grey. Thank you.
But it's definitely going grey.
The Hadfields have got a good head of hair. And by the way, happy 80th birthday, Uncle Philip, my dad's brother. And I just wanted to give you a shout out. And he's the last remaining member of the original little Hadfield family that came from there, and he might be listening in. That's it. Talking of losing hair, that's Phil's not losing his hair. I've no ego. That's for sure.
No, like you said, craving attention. I don't feel you've ever done that.
Do you think people think I crave attention?
I think it's a very easy thing to sling at somebody to say that.
Because they see pictures of me and...
When me and Dan first got together, and there was a lot of hate at me.
Yeah.
And I was told, or somebody said it about me, how I love the attention.
Jesus Christ.
They couldn't be more wrong. I don't love attention. I constantly want to slip, down the sidelines. I don't want any attention at all.
They were saying things like that because they didn't know you, and B, they just thought that you were kind of that would somehow rile you, even though they would. It shows you how little they knew.
I'm still exactly the same.
You are.
Right up into coming to Barcelona with you the other month, not interested in coming out the front.
No.
I'm happy to sit in the green room on my own. I don't want any attention.
No, and I like that about you.
I don't like anything like that.
I really love that, because you always look immaculate. And yet you look immaculate, but you're probably sat in a room on your own.
Yeah, I'm absolutely not a show off.
No.
I'm not a look at me. None of that. That makes me cringe.
I know it does.
I couldn't be that way if I wanted to.
I know.
And I think people often can think that about me because I will do all my hair and makeup.
Yeah.
But that is a bit of armour.
It is armour.
Because, I'm doing that to just put a little bit of a front on, because I don't feel fully prepared if I don't go out. I feel like I wouldn't be taken seriously.
Yeah, and anybody that gets to know you knows what a deeply self-deprecating person you are, and you're not showy in any way. And despite the fact that you've always driven a sort of a nice vehicle and look nice, you're not showy with it. You've just are a very decent, down-to-earth person, and have standards. But those standards are not snobby standards. Those standards are just decent standards, I think, and that's what I really love about you. You've got no ego either.
I genuinely, it's probably a bit of a strange thing to say about yourself, but I do think I'm a nice person.
You are.
I will always go out of my way to, speak to people. I'm not standoffish, or, I would always do anything for anybody. I'm not, and I think that's sometimes why other people can make you feel a little bit like, because if you've really done everything and you've gone out your way, you think, well, what more could I do?
Yeah.
And it can hurt when people say stuff like that about you, when you're really not like that.
But I've always said to you that you've got to draw an imaginary square around yourself and operate within that square. And if somebody comes into that square with something they've done, that's the point where you respond. You can't control what's outside of your jurisdiction. Other people will be twats, or other people will be nice, and you can't worry about that. It's when they come into your space.
Yeah, and I'm also guilty of probably doing things that put me out my comfort zone. Being a bit of a yes person. I think sometimes I wish I could say no more. I will agree to something that makes me, and I'm thinking, I don't want to do this.
I think behind the scenes you're a furious no person, but then actually when push comes to shove, you're okay, we'll go for it.
Because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and I don't want to let people down, and I don't want people to think ill of me, or think I'm miserable, or I don't want to do something. And, and I overthink things a lot.
No, you do.
If I feel I've said something to somebody, and I will question the tone I've said it, and then I'll go away and panic about it and think, oh my God, I hope they've not taken it the wrong way. I didn't mean it like that.
I think one of the things about you is that you absolutely are a bridge crosser before you get there. That is one thing that I think is, and I am definitely not that anymore. You cannot cross a bridge till you get there. And, I'm very much like, hang on a sec, let's just look at everything before we even get down that road, because we might not even get to the bridge. So I kind of bring back. I just want to finish off Darren's answer, though. And I want to say something. I have got an ego. Because it takes somebody with an ego to walk out on stage and do what I do. There's no doubt about it. I have got an ego, and I like to be liked, and I want to be well known, and I want to impress people, and I want people to laugh at my jokes, and I want people to really enjoy me singing. But I want people to also understand that whilst I want that, it's not the be-all and end-all for me. Because afterwards, I want to leave the stage, get in my car, go home. Yeah. I don't want people massaging an ego after that. I don't want sycophantic people saying, oh, when people come up to me and say, oh, oh God, you're really good at what you do, or this, that and the other, I don't know what to do with that. I really don't. I know I'm good at what I do. I know I'm good, because obviously I wouldn't be 15 years down the line doing it still. I know I'm good, and I think I've got better over the years, but I don't take that for granted. I don't want people to get bored. I never call it in. That's why I put so much effort into each and every single show, because I think if I had an ego, I would think that whatever I did was enough, and I never think what I do is enough. But at Darren, I'm not losing my hair. My backhand is still pretty decent. My forehand smash is not great. I think I've had my midlife crisis. Usually you marry a girl who's 13 years younger than you. I've done that. But unlike you, I didn't do it at 25.
Oh my God.
Next question. Shall I ask you? Well, you ask them all. Why not? Just ask them all.
Okay, Donna. Who is always right, or likes to think they are, at least? I think I'm right.
Okay.
I generally am right. And then I think you'll tell me I'm not right, and then come round a few minutes later and go, yeah, you are.
I think that is true. I think you are generally 99% accurate in what you say. I think you just have a way of saying it that pisses me off. That's what it is. And
I'm a good arguer, and I think Dan knows that, but he likes to think he's a good arguer as well. So I think we could both really go at it and not back down, which we never do, to be honest.
No.
But I think if we was ever put in that position, I'd really give as good as I was getting.
I think that the issue we've got here is a simple one. I think I love Jade more than she loves me, because she gives me both barrels when we're having any kind of ding-dong, and I don't give it back.
Because you know you're wrong.
No, it's not that. It's because I can't be arsed. And often, if I've done something wrong, which, let's face facts, is pretty regular, or so I'm told, I will go away and I'll do something that I call the 360, and rather than persist with making out I'm in the right, I will actually go, do you know what, imagine I'm standing in Jade's shoes. What does it look like? What does what I've done or said look like from Jade's position? And once I've said that aloud to myself, I soften my stance, and I will then go and speak to Jade and say, listen, I have thought about what we've just said, or what's just happened, and I'm trying to see it from your point of view. It's a very, very mature way of looking at it. And there's times when I still think, no, you're not right, Jade, and I have got a point, but from your perspective, I can see why it would look like that. There's not very many compromises in our arguments. It's usually me that just apologises, waits a day, and resumes, because Jade, and this is the dullest thing, and women, oh God, women do this. Why do they have to wait for the reset of a new day before they just get on with it?
Oh, because, let me just say, we don't really argue, do we? We don't really fall out. But on the odd occasion we've ever had any, words.
Tattles.
Yeah. Dan will want to come to me sort of 10, 15 minutes after it, and he'll just start talking as normal. Like,
yeah.
Oh, oh, you know, do you want a cup of tea? Oh, this, that and the other.
Do you know why?
And I'm sat there thinking, don't talk to me.
But
like, I'm still reeling from what's happened. I'm like, no.
But I'm really
I
sad
need to
because...
get this out there and air all this properly, and then I'll be over this and we can move on.
But then you always go back to it, which is dull as ditch water.
Yeah, but you can't sweep things under the
can.
rug. I can't.
Yeah, and
I'd rather have it out and then go, right, let's move on.
But, you know, that does my tits in, honestly. And it's like you're wasting good time. We've had our argument, let's just move on. Let's just move on.
You can't move on when someone walks in and goes, do you want a cup of tea or whatever? And I'm sat there thinking,
I
don't
do not
want
do
a cup of
that.
tea.
I do not. I often just bring you a coffee and put it down and say, do you want a brew? And that's my way of going, look, I know things are a bit spiky, okay, but let's have a chat. And you don't. No, you're putting your eyebrow on, or you know, and it's like, no, yeah. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. And I think I'm in it. I'm up against it for the next couple of hours, and it gives me the stone in my stomach, because the last thing I want to do is argue with you, because I really like you.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I really like being with you, and the last thing I want to be is with somebody who's, you know, got a problem with me. You know, and I just want to move on from it as quickly as possible. I don't mind talking about it, but, you know, I always think if I apologise for something or admit, you know, wrongdoing or whatever, you know, you never just go, oh, okay then, yeah, all right, let's move on from it. You just have to keep it on a low burner. You don't turn the gas off. You keep the gas low. And also, I'm going to say this: not once, ever in our time together has Jade ever apologised for anything. So let me just put this to you, people of the world out there, listeners. Is it more likely that Jade has never done anything wrong and therefore has no need to apologise, or B, she's got a personality disorder?
I'm going to put a vote on A.
Yeah, I thought you would somehow.
See, so to finish Donna's question off, she's put, do you ever go to bed on an argument, or do you make up before you go to sleep?
I think in our years we've only ever gone to bed on an argument maybe twice. Been a long night, that has.
Yeah, I can't really remember, because we don't really fall out much, do we? But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's usually...
I think I'd struggle to go to sleep if we went to sleep on it. I'd lay there like I'd be bristling.
Oh my God!
I wouldn't be laid there sad. I'd be laid there like.
I cannot remember the incident in question, but we'd had an argument before bed, and I went and got in bed next to you, and you were asleep, or you were burning inside but asleep, and I thought, oh God, this is shit, you know. I wanted to wake you up and talk, and I fell asleep, and then I woke up at some point in the night and thought, oh, you know, woke up and I'd not remembered we'd had an argument, and I lay there for a while, and then it dawned on me that we'd had the argument and that we'd still not made up, and there was still...
So you were thinking, oh God, I've got this to come in the morning.
I did, and I lay there thinking, and it was the worst feeling I've ever had, because I just want to shake you and go, oh, I'm really sorry. I don't know why, but but for whatever it is, I'm really sorry. What are you sorry for? I don't know, but I'm sorry. So can I make you a brew? Anyway, thanks, Donna. What we got? Keep going.
Well, you
okay, let's see what's on this list. Okay, so
on there from your...
Yeah, okay. Well, Chris Ballum has mailed in. He's a pal of mine, an old football friend of mine. We used to be in a team called The Secrets, and he's asked, would you like The Secrets to have one more six-a-side game?
Why was you called The Secrets?
Well, we used to have a team called Chris Kiwamia's Travelling Circus, which we were very, very good, and we won the leagues and the cups. And I think if we'd have gone and done the National Six-a-Side Champion Soccer one, I think we'd have won that, because we were really, really good. And then people moved away and died, and we then set up a team called Phil Wiltshire's Secret something or other. I can't even remember. Phil was a member of our original team, and he'd moved to Australia. Hi Phil, hi Laura, and we called ourselves the Secrets for short. And we had a good team. We never won anything. We were close. We only had 2 seasons, and we really enjoyed that. And Chris Ballon was our centre forward, and he was a really, really good player. Really good player. And in answer to your question, Chris, I would love to have one more 6-a-side game. And unfortunately, whilst we've still all got the football team shirts, we'd all look like we're wearing fucking crop tops if we put them on now. Because mine would.
You'd all be creaking and snapping.
Yeah.
All your arthritic toes would be snapping. And
I've got a really bad arthritic toe, but my top would not come down to my waist anymore. It'd come down to my tits.
You'd all be on the sidelines with your inhalers needing a minute.
Insulin pens.
Oh my God.
So Chris, set us up. Let's play. Also, there is another question from Kat here, actually. She's put, I'd like to hear about Dan's football career.
Oh, you wouldn't. There's nothing
injuries.
to tell.
Okay.
He always says he was so good at football. I don't buy any of it.
See, this is where this does my head in. This really does my head in.
I love doing this because I know how much it pushes Dan's buttons. I tell him that he was not good at football and that it's a load of rubbish, and he gets really rattled by it, and he has to protest.
It's not the football. It's not the. It's my speed of running. That's what really gets me, because okay, this is it. I'm telling you now. This is on my kids' honour. I don't even know how you can take the piss out of that. I've said on my kids' honour. That means I'm actually going to tell it how it is.
You tell it how it is.
I'm going.
Go on.
You
tell all them people how fast you can run.
Well, I think you've just done that for me, haven't you?
Come on, look, they're excited.
This is what. Oh God, I really don't like you right now. Honest.
You can run so fast,
I can't.
can't you?
No,
You're so good at playing football.
No, I'm not. Not anymore. I'm not. Okay.
Did you have your name up at school for being really fast at running? Yeah.
Keep going.
There weren't many people in Gainsborough, though, was there, to be fair? So you didn't have much competition.
She is.
And he wears it like a badge of honour. I think he'd like to go back to Queen's because I think he thinks that he's still up there. Nobody's beat him.
I am gobsmacked at your shittery. I am. Can I have the airwaves for a moment?
Yeah, go on. You tell him how quick you can run.
Thanks very much. Okay. The look on your face right now. Okay, so when I was younger, I was a pretty fast runner. I was always beaten by this one guy at primary school called Leon Cox, who runs the Cox's Fish and Chip shop in Gainsborough. Good fish and chips.
And he only had one leg.
He only had one leg. You think you're funny, don't you? And then I was a late starter with football. Didn't kick a football until I was about 10. And to put it in context, I was having trials with Notts County when I was 13. So a very, very short period of time I became pretty decent at football.
I think that was like one of those things, where you have to take the token kid in just to make it look like you're doing something for the community.
Do you know what? When you saw this question from Cat Smith, you must have rubbed your fucking hands together and thought, I'm going to wee all over his chips when he tries to answer this question. Yeah. I bet you did.
I did.
I'm not going to answer it. I'm not answering it. I'm not answering a question because you've just absolutely made me feel like horse ass. Okay. Anyway, Kat, I'll just let you know that, yeah, I was not a bad footballer. I got worse as I got older, but I was a really fast runner. I wasn't very skillful, but not many people could catch me, so I'd often knock the ball and go and nobody would catch me. I was the 4th fastest runner in the English schools championship at 100 metres when I was about 15, and then I really started smoking a lot, and I slowed down a lot, and then I pulled my hamstring at Quibble Park in Scunthorpe. Never really recovered. I was still fast, and then when I was 22 I got an ACL injury playing football, and that really hampered everything.
We've never heard the end of that since. I've got a pin in my knee.
I haven't.
If you had my knee, if you felt what I feel every day, wait till you're my age.
I haven't got a pin in my knee. I've got 2 pins in my knees. and I've got arthritis in my right toe, big right toe, from where I kicked Nick Redding up the arse and fractured my toe, but didn't do anything about it, and now I've got arthritis.
This is the difference between men and women. They go on about their ailments, don't they, and everything hurts. And
got bursitis in my right hip.
Oh, here we go.
Injections.
I had that done.
Oh, didn't we know it? Oh, I can't get off the sofa.
No. I had injections in my hip. I was fine. I didn't go on about it like
yes, you did. You went on about it for 2 years. Anyway, I've had 5 major operations, and by major I mean I've had something done on my nose. I've had a circumcision. Okay, I've had a hernia operation. I've had my appendix out, and I have had the knee operation. And I also have had, so I'm in need of my brain testing for marrying this article that's sat in front of me. Next question. And then we're going to move on because we've been doing this for a while. What else we got? What are the top 3 moments that make you think? And this, I'm going to rephrase this so you answer it. I think this was meant for me, but I'm going to rephrase it for you. What is the main moment or 2 then that make you think that all what we do is worth it, and it helps you carry on when you're at the point of throwing the towel and then going, oh, fuck it, I can't be bothered with this anymore? Have you had any moments where you thought, you've been really tested, but
I'm tested every weekend.
every weekend.
I think that for me, it's the fact that you get to be at home all week. That's the price, that I pay for my stressy weekends, that you're here and you've been with the kids. And, there's not many kids who've got their mum and dad at home the way these 2 have.
It's good, isn't it?
So when it's rough, that's probably my main thing. That you're here all in the week.
Yeah.
And we love the weeks because we don't like the weekend. Don't like what comes with the weekend. We don't like people, the busyness, the whole weekend mentality. We like a good Monday morning, don't we? Yeah,
and I think it's, I work at the weekends. Now, don't get me wrong, when I'm singing and performing, it's not that I'm not enjoying doing that, but when I wake up on a Friday morning and I know I've got to travel to X and I've got to do all that, I'm not getting out of bed going, oh, can't wait for it today to do my 1498th show. Of course you don't think that. Even if you like your job, you're not thinking that. I'm waking up looking at Jade thinking, fucking hell, she's got a weekend of hell on. The kids have been playing up. And, and it's like any other job, isn't it? Getting on with it and getting through it. And when we get back together on a sort of Sunday or Monday, whenever it is, it's the best feeling there is. And we meet with our Monday crew, don't we, on a Monday morning, and it's the best feeling ever to be back together as a little family, or just me and you.
I worry a lot about you as well with the driving that's involved with your job. I just think it's every time you go out onto those roads and do those long journeys, you're just dicing with it every time. Because they're dangerous, and then you're driving home, you're tired. There's times where I will encourage Dan to stay over because I don't want him to drive home, and it doesn't benefit anybody because I don't sleep because I'm worried thinking he's driving home. And he won't probably get home till 4 or 5 in the morning, so we might as well just stay away, and then I will sleep knowing that he's not on the road. And that is the worst part about your job for me. I worry about you on them roads and driving.
I worry about me because as the older I've got, I struggle with night driving much more, and and sometimes I pull into a lay-by and go to sleep, and then when I wake up I haven't got a fucking foggiest where I am.
Well, I say to him, I don't go to sleep in a lay-by. It's lethal, please just go anywhere. I mean, you've pulled in a McDonald's before, haven't you? Fell asleep, gone over the timer, and then got a fine. So you can't do that if you're doing it wrong, can you?
No, you can't. It's a funny one, that.
You can be the best driver ever, have your wits about you, look everywhere. You can't account for idiots. And I worry about you.
Thank you. I think slightly rephrasing the answer as well, about a moment that made me think it was all worth it. It also, I realised the worth of what we had the moment it was gone during COVID.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, I think I said in another podcast, prior to COVID, I was quite self-congratulatory at home, thinking, oh, we're doing really well. And then it all went, And I just thought, oh my God.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that. I remember actually thinking, God, I'd give anything for that back, actually, and all the things I've moaned about at the time, thinking it was never, ever going to be the same again.
No, I know. And it hasn't. It hasn't been the same again.
But I mean, there was points during COVID, I just thought, is life, have we done with that? Like, is it not ever going to be that again? Is what we knew gone?
Yeah.
And it was times like that I thought, oh my God, you know,
uncertain future.
I wish I could have that back.
I know.
Yeah.
And we got it back, and within another week, we're wanting a fucking weekend off again.
Exactly.
I know.
We always want what we
always. A lady called Monica Richmond has asked me, do I still talk in my sleep?
No, I don't know. The snoring, it's snoring for me rather than talking. Dan is an awful snorer.
Yeah.
Like, he did have he's been diagnosed with sleep apnea, and they gave him a machine, which he won't wear anymore because his reason is if the kids are waking up 400 times a night, he cannot strap this big Hannibal Lecter to his face. 400
times?
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I spend my night just nudging him, because shut up, get on your side. You're going to wake somebody up. And it's just like, oh my God, the noise.
There's a story behind...
Sound like a walrus.
I do. There's a story behind Monica's question.
Okay.
It's lovely, but funny and also slightly sad as well. I don't know whether Monica's actually listening. I hope she is. Monica's son, Alex, passed away tail end of the year before last, or early last year. He's only my age. We were school pals, Alex. So, you know, he got to 48, 49, which is no age, and he unexpectedly passed away. And I used to go and hang out with Alex at his house in Lee, and at his mum and dad's house. And the first time I went over there, we were playing on his computer, and he had the bed and I had the little sofa bed next to him. And he was only child, so his mum and dad, Monica and Stuart, were in the house with him. And we were doing the late night talk, you know, like not telling ghost stories, but just telling each other little stories as you do as teenagers. And I said to Alex, I sleep with one eye open. My uncle Gerald, that's my cousin Roy, who had asked the question, his dad. My uncle Gerald used to sleep with one eye open, and I've inherited that trait, and I sleep with one eye open. So if you wake up in the middle of the night and I've got one eye open, then don't worry, it's just how I sleep. And this really unsettled Alex.
I'm not surprised.
I know. Anyway, so eventually we fell asleep, and I woke up and it was a Sunday morning, and I woke up in his room, and I remember the sunlight coming in, and Alex wasn't in his bed, and I thought, oh, he's gone for a wee or whatever, and I lay there for a while, and Alex didn't reappear, and so feeling a bit like, oh well, I'm in the stranger's house, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to get up and see where he is. So really early Sunday morning, stranger's house. So I got up, went out onto the landing. It was a fairly big house, and he had a little games room which had a snooker table in and dartboard and stuff like that. And I walked across the landing, walked into the games room, and there's a bed, a single bed on the side that was in the games room, a spare bed, and obviously there's a body in the bed. And I walked over to the bed and shook it. I'm Alex, and this great big ginger mop of hair, Monica, Alex's mum, she had real red hair, looked over the covers and went, "It's not Alex, it's me." And I went, oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Richmond, I thought it was Alex. And she went, no. I went, where's Alex? He went, he's in bed with his dad after what happened last night.
Oh my God.
And I went, what happened last night? And what happened, apparently, in my sleep, and coincidentally, in my sleep, I'd woken up, sat bolt upright in the bed, turned to face Alex with both my eyes open. Obviously, I was completely disorientated because I was in a house I didn't know, and I just sat on the edge of this sofa bed staring at Alex with my eyes wide open.
But he didn't ask you round again.
He shat himself, got out of bed, went and kicked his mum out of bed and got in bed with his dad.
Oh.
Last time I went round to Stainton Close, I think it was.
You have got some weird nighttime behaviour, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
There's been a time where you've like leapt out of bed to catch a ball.
I have, and I leapt out of bed to catch my Auntie Beryl once as well. I know. And
You're strange,
I
aren't you?
know.
Strange character.
But Monica, I hope that was a nice recollection if you listened. I miss Alex, and it was very sad, but sending much love to you. Let's have a look. We're coming to the end. We've gone more than what we should have done. Drew Summer Hayes has asked, do I wear a dicky bow or just an undone button? What do you think would be the nicest look?
Depends. What are you doing?
I'm not a huge dicky bow fan.
You've worn them for your swing shows, haven't you?
Yeah, but
Can you remember you lost that really nice glittery one at the Doubletree Hilton?
Yeah.
I think someone took it.
Probably.
Along with a tambourine.
I think dicky bows look a bit shit. They're just a bit like...
What about when they're undone and you just have them hanging?
Yes, that's a style to wear them like that. I think that's quite nice, but I think it only works on photo shoots and not in actual practice. I think when you're wearing a dicky bow, you're just a bit trussed up, aren't you?
Yes. Especially if you've got a fat neck.
Yes, I've got a fat neck. What else have we got? I think... So, dog or cat? What's your choice, dog or cat?
Neither.
That's a great answer. Men's sandals, socks or not with them?
I don't think men should be wearing sandals.
Correct.
Full stop.
That is the correct answer. Men should not wear sandals. Men who wear sandals with the socks are not men.
No.
That's my thought.
What about sliders and socks?
Awful. That's from Linda.
Do you think you're getting a bit old for that now, though?
What?
Because all the youngsters are wearing sliders and socks, aren't they? Like,
yeah, but sliders and the white
Ibiza
pulled
final
up.
boss.
Oh my God, no thanks. That's just ridiculous.
Though Dan this summer had a little bit of a midlife crisis, I think, and he started most days wearing socks pulled up with his trainers. Bless him.
I felt like I'd arrived. But where was this?
He was trying to fit in with all the kids.
Where at?
I don't know.
Butlins.
Yeah, but you were doing it just at home.
Was
and
I?
About. You had a thing. You went through a little phase.
I think I was trialling at Butlins to see if I felt out of place.
Well, no one feels out of place there.
Correct. Anybody who
do what you
dresses well feels out of place at Butlins. We'll come back to Butlins another day. I've got one more question, and then you've got something you just want to do to wrap this up, haven't you? Yeah. This last question is from Juss, who I think might be Justin R. The funniest thing that's ever happened to me in Christie's or the White Hart Disco in Gainsborough.
Okay.
Well, without going into any detail, there's a joke I tell about the White Hart Disco in Gainsborough. Do you want me to? Do you want me to tell it here? I always say, right, the Christie's was a nightclub that you'd go to on a Saturday. The White Hart Disco was this minging, absolutely minging disco at the back of the White Hart pub that you'd go to on a Friday. Okay? Everybody went there. So I always think the joke is that people go down to the White Hart Disco and they go off into the darkness at the back to cop off with somebody. Okay? And the joke is that this husband goes in there, okay, and his wife's out, but he goes into the disco and he goes into the back and it's all dark, and this woman comes up to him and they start copping a feel, getting off with each other, slipping him the you know what and this, that and the other.
God.
And then the lights go on, and who is it? It's his wife. She was in there doing the same thing.
Hilarious.
I know, but that was the White Hart Disco. You go in there and cop off with your wife thinking it's a stranger, but she's doing the same thing.
Come out with some bad disease.
Wanting a bit of yammer, 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 or get that cock in my mouth.
Oh my God.
I'm not cutting it out. I'm not cutting that out. Kids are not. I'm not cutting that out. Mabel's asleep. If you're listening in front of your kids, you should know better. I think that concludes the questions. I love these questions from people. Send in anything you want us to talk about because we really love that. I'm going to hand over to Jade.
Well, I was going to read something out because I listened to it myself this morning and it actually made my eyes fill up, but I'm going to save it until we do the kids, our little 3-part we've been finishing, because I think it's more in keeping with that, because this has been nice and upbeat and I don't want to sadden it at the end, but it's a lovely thing. I'm gonna keep it until we do the children baby thing. Okay,
well, I mean, what we're actually going to do is we're going to record the second part of our fertility podcast over the next day or two. We're a bit tied up with kids at the moment, so we're going to try and do that when we can, and hopefully you'll tune into that. It's really, really important that you like and follow what we're doing and comment, because it generates publicity for us and allows our podcast to be heard and found better. Please leave us a review, which is nice. If you leave us a bad review, I'll come and find you.
Can we delete them?
No. Yeah, but I'm going to say no. But thank you for listening again.
Yes, I love this.
I do. This has been really nice tonight.
It's a lovely little switch off.
Yeah, and people sending in the questions is a real nice thing. So keep them coming. Send them in. We're about to launch our website
questions. Too. Tell us stuff. Tell us funny stuff.
What do we want to hear?
I want to know stories from other people. Then we can elaborate on it.
We want your dilemmas.
Yes, put it to us.
We want your problems. Write in. Well, when I say write, you drop us a line. Tell us. Do it anonymously. We'll always keep it anonymous. If you're, banging somebody at the office and want some advice, then, come to us. If you've got an itch,
Dan will have some cream.
I'll have some cream and some advice. It will be, don't bang that person in the office anymore. That's it.
You don't keep it that close to home, do you? It never ends well.
Never ends well. Yeah, so let us know. It'll be ace. Hope you've enjoyed this one. It's far better than last night's.
Yes.
Which was boring as shit.
It was terrible. Honestly, even my voice, I couldn't even listen to myself.
Dullsville, Tennessee. Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Take care, and see you soon. Bye.